You guys already know why we here. You saw the title, and that thing is not clickbait at all. GS currently is probably in one of its worst states that it's ever been in since the release of the game. The only thing that was worse than this, I think, was whenever we had Tensura for like 6+ months and no other content. That was a pretty bad time too. But this time here, I think really takes the cake. Ladies and gentlemen, GS is about to have a really huge update coming out, which is the Shaman King crossover. We've talked about it a little bit on the channel. I still got a few videos left to post on it, and I wanted to shed some light on a few things that have been happening in Grand Summoners and just how this is going to be completely terrible, especially if this stuff isn't fixed by the time Shaman King actually releases. Because Shaman King, or any new crossover, any anime crossover that arrives onto global, is bound to bring in new players. And let me tell you, from experience and everything else, first impressions are the most important. And if these problems are still in the game, we gonna have a lot of issues. And you guys probably already know what I'm talking about, or one of them at least. But we're gonna talk about everything that's recently happened in GS because it's just absolutely crazy that this is even a thing. So first and foremost, let's talk about the elephant in the room, which is the Facebook login problems. If you guys didn't know, if you've been living under a rock or really haven't been keeping up to date about the stuff that's been happening in the global version of GS, or hell, you may even be affected by it still to this day, which is the problem that they have been having with the Facebook logins. Now, I don't completely understand how the Facebook error even occurs, so I'm going to tell you exactly what they said in the news section. Dear Summoners, we are currently experiencing an issue with Facebook account linking feature. Attempting to register your Facebook account in Grand Summoners will display an error message ending the linking process. We are currently working on a correction and will address this as soon as possible. We apologize for the inconvenience and thank you for your patience. Which, that didn't seem that bad. That just makes it sound like, oh, you can't link to Facebook. And then here we go with the whole other thing is that we get an update and it says, Dear Summoners, we apologize for the Facebook issue that is preventing many players from logging in. We have successfully identified the problem and are working on a correction as fast as possible. To minimize the impact of this issue on our affected players, we will be taking the following actions, which is extending the forever summon and the correction related to the Facebook account link issues. But here's the thing is that this has been going on for about a week. So I do hope that the players that did get affected by this are going to be compensated in more than one way apart from just extended forever summons, because that's not really a compensation. That's more of just like it should be a thing, especially if it's affecting other people and people can't log into the game if they want to log in and play. So hopefully we get some more compensation for that. And everybody that's affected by this, I really don't know what to tell you. I think there is a way to work around it. You have to contact customer support. You got to go through them and you have to do something. I'm not completely sure on it, so I don't want to speak too much on it. But I did see people say contact customer support if you're having this problem, and yes, should be able to get back most accounts. I also made an update like in the discords and everything about all this, but to be honest, me personally, I just wish this issue could get solved before Shaman King. Like, I would personally say that this issue should be top priority, not releasing Shaman King. But of course, I'm not the lead developer. I'm not even a developer on the dev team. That's one of the main issues that are currently happening. Not only that, there's been another sneaking suspicion going on with the Grand Summoners community about the next crossover, which is Shaman King, because they released something and I don't know why they did this, and it really makes it bad. For one, whenever you go into the Grand Summoners crossover digest they have for Shaman King, the first thing you see is Shaman King sexplodes. Yes, sexplodes onto GS. This hasn't been corrected, by the way. This has been here for like 4 or 5 days at this point, ever since the crossover got announced. But we have that mess up. We already have the mistranslations and everything. Classic GS. But not only that, we also have a very alarming thing that happened for a lot of people, or a lot of people are thinking that this is going to be the case, but I don't think it will be. And I kind of want to say that we probably just need to wait to see it come out to really understand it completely. But it is this image right here. As you see, it says trade hero gems for the characters Yo, Anna, and Rin, and Alk and Rainbow gems. And people were already freaking out about this, like, oh my god, how isn't going to be pitied? But if you look on the side here, there's a scroll bar, so they scrolled down to show you that you could trade for Rainbow gems and Alk stones. They also did make a correction in game that says and how unpictured will arrive in Shaman King Part 2 crossover summons. The only thing this tells you, though, it doesn't even tell you that, like, if you can pity how. It just tells you that they're going to arrive. So it's still not direct confirmation, but I'm almost positive that's the case, that how will be up here and he will be able to be pitied. He's not going to be like a Juno situation. You can't pity him. I personally don't understand why they just didn't move over Rainbow gems and the and, or just add the and symbol so it doesn't take up as much space and put how up there as well, because whenever you give people pictures like this, they're instantly going to start assuming that how isn't going to be in the game. And it's very common for that to be the case, especially with how Grand Summoners Global has done some scummy stuff like that in the past with certain units, especially the biggest one, of course, being Juno. The game's broken. People can't log in through Facebook. We almost had a catastrophic apocalypse happen in GS because if Hal wasn't able to be pitted, you best believe everybody was going to start letting GS know how they really feel. And trust me, that's like the worst possible thing to happen. And to take the cake on everything, before I even say this, no one told me to speak on this, nor do I know the man personally, and I don't understand the complete situation, but to my knowledge, from what I've been told, a certain raider in Grand Summoners, I've never played with him, I never talked to him, I don't think. I might have, but I just didn't know. And it was a level 300 plus player from what I understand, and his name was Kaz, I think, or Koz. I don't know why I said Kaz. Kaz is from fucking Metal Gear. But Koz was banned in raids for apparently being too good. I'm not making this up either. If you actually go to the raid leaderboard, you can see that a lot of people have unbanned Koz in the raid leaderboard to raise awareness for this. And from my understanding, he has been wrongly banned for no apparent reason, just because he was playing raids religiously, ranking extremely high, doing tons and tons of damage to this raid boss, and I guess they thought he was cheating and they banned him. Which GS, I don't know why we don't have a better anti-cheat policy or a better way for you guys to determine if he's cheating or not, because if you wanted to check that, if you really wanted to, couldn't you just replicate what he was doing behind the scenes and just see if it's even possible if you guys didn't believe it was possible? I don't know, it just seems kind of weird to me that people are getting banned, and this has been a thing before where people are wrongly banned for whatever it may be, and you guys don't even grasp like the entire situation. It's very weird whenever I see this type of stuff, and it really makes me hold you guys to such a low standard. You want to know why I don't really have any expectations for GS in the future? Is because, I mean, every single time it just knocks it down. My hope for the game just keeps getting knocked and knocked and knocked down. Still do love the game though, but that doesn't make up for somebody being wrongly banned, someone who was a dedicated player to your game. One of the highest levels probably in global, level 300 plus, like that's unheard of for global. Yeah, there's a few 300 pluses on JP, probably a ton of 300 pluses on JP, but for global, that's unheard of. And I best believe this man probably spent money on the game and everything else, because if you're that high level, I'm almost positive he really did enjoy the game. And the fact that he was wrongly banned wasn't cheating or anything, just because he was too good in a raid? Come on, GS, y'all better than that. I don't know what type of hamsters you got on the wheel in the offices, especially the ones over reports, bans, and all that. Because hell, at this point, what's to say that you guys just can't ban me because of whatever reason? Or you guys just can't ban another player for whatever reason, since it's becoming more and more apparent that people are just getting banned to get banned. But yeah, Koz, I wish I could help you if you watch this video. I really do. I wish I could help you more than just make a video on it. But I personally do not have any power over bans or anything. My word means little to the Grand Summoners dev team. So I hate that this is a thing, but if you guys want to support it or anything, do what other players are doing in-game, unban Koz, tweet it at them on Twitter and all that type of stuff, because yeah, this is just really fucked up. I really wish I could do more, because I hate whenever people get banned or they get kicked out of their account wrongly, especially if they weren't in fault at all. They were just playing the game like they usually do, but going a little bit too hard, and GS is just like they ban you because they don't even play their own game. They don't even know what units are capable of. People out here getting banned for using Juno the first time because they didn't even know Juno was capable of doing the numbers that she was able to do. It's actually stupid. Thank you all again for coming out. Like I said, if you want to support Koz or anything like this, you want to try to get this stuff fixed, the best way to do it is to spread awareness of it. Let the teams know on Twitter, the dev team, everything like that. Get talking in the Discords and everything. Not saying to riot, but if you sit by and don't say anything, that means you're complacent to it. And at that point, you're just letting it happen. That's why stuff never gets changed in the real world, because that's a common occurrence, because it's a lot easier to just watch stuff happen than actually step in and try to fix it yourself. Hopefully everything gets sorted out between the Facebook login, the whole house situation, and the boy Koz. Like I said, hope everything works out, and hopefully everything gets fixed by the time Shaman King comes out, because I'm telling you, if it's not fixed, oh Lord Jesus, it's just gonna be really bad. It's gonna be terrible, actually. You don't want one of your most hyped crossovers to ever release in global just be a complete flop on launch because of issues in the game that you didn't fix prior. Thank you all for coming out though. It's been your boy P. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe for more. Nearing in on 30k subscribers, so if you want to stick around to the channel, sub for GS content, sub for World Flipper content, just sub for any type of content you guys can. Appreciate you guys so much. And last but not least, don't forget to drink water.